Welcome to the Phantom Zone.
Episode. I've had a fucking lousy day, so we're gonna try to be positive.
We're starting.
Did that sound inspiring?
Setting the bar.
You can tell
high
we're all at our best. Yeah, we're all at our best right now. We're all just 100%. None of us.
I had a bad day at the animal hospital. Imagination and figure out what that means. Sadness. Anyway, we have lots of people here, and some crossover people, I guess, from not the main stuff, but from And Now Comics. Who's here tonight?
Alanaro, as usual.
It's Hunter Davenport, aka AK-47 the God, aka the Consummate Professional. I don't have any nicknames past that, I guess. Fuck.
Consummate Professional.
Yeah, Consummate Professional.
Me. What about Ebony Falcon?
Yes.
Okay.
Harry loves frozen yogurt.
It's Erik Voracek, and Craig, could you make my grandchildren call me again? Please, I miss them.
Yeah, and help Erik with his arms and his hands and his
And
carpal tunnel.
everything. My bad knees, they pop.
And I'm Lou Gonzalez, and we're going to be positive like AIDS Ghost.
No.
Great. AIDS Ghost.
I suppose there's no better time for me to have a falling out with my mother so she never ever has to hear the joke about her dead brother.
I'm John Seiler. Yo boy.
Yep, it's your boy.
Actually, quick side note, I think last time, wasn't it during one of the Talking Cure episodes that we created AIDS Ghost?
Yes,
I think it was.
It was
one of the spooky episodes. Yeah,
but that's what ended up happening.
I told a story about how a real story about how before my uncle passed away from complications, that he kept saying he saw someone in his room, and Hunter was like, "Oh God, it's the AIDS ghost." Just
I
derailed the whole thing.
I specifically said that's how he got AIDS.
Yes,
that's what it was. Of course.
Yeah,
Yes.
I thought this conversation about like the AIDS ghost and before your uncle died was going to go in a very different direction.
Oh boy.
Bits. Now a character apparently who is dancing on the grave of my uncle.
Yeah, he's you
find this funny. I haven't seen or heard from him in 20 years, but you know.
Yeah.
That's real. That's a real.
We're like, we're being positive, and we go into like the darkness, like no way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I will say, I'll just get this out of the way. Something that made me fucking happy recently was I jumped back into making some progress and watched a video on how to skip this fucking boss that I can't stand, the Blazing Ball. It involves a bunch of jumping, and I tried the jumping and got so fucking pissed off that I couldn't do the jumping. I dropped into the boss arena and just killed it. I was like, I don't know whether to be angry or really elated right now.
There's a little part of you that's proud of yourself.
Yeah.
I think the latter is the better choice, because anytime you beat a boss or mid-boss in Sekiro, it's just like, oh my God, I actually did it. Oh,
I think I went, oh!
Yeah. I was ready to, I don't even know what I was ready to do, but when I finally beat Lady Butterfly, I was the happiest boy on my block.
Did you guys get to Guardian Ape yet?
No.
Oh,
no.
I've watched videos of Guardian Ape, and that's one of those bosses I'm going to probably end up putting my fist through a wall over.
I think he's like my favorite Souls game boss design-wise. He's so cool.
I love
What
the
the-
Abyss Watchers from Dark Souls 3.
They're pretty dope too. But
Is his name actually Guardian Ape?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
That sounds like he could be both a Marvel or DC villain.
He is.
Sounds like a
Probably.
God-
He probably
like
is
Godzilla
one
villain.
in each company. There's a Guardian
there's
Ape
like-
who's a
oh
good
my
guy at
God.
Marvel.
If
There's
there
like
was a
there's 4 evil gorillas in DC Comics.
if there was a kaiju named Guardian Ape, I'd be here for it.
I was gonna say
That
it sounds like a kaiju.
Yeah, I actually like the idea of a kaiju. Like he's wearing like traditional like Japanese monk outfit, like a Shinto monk outfit. And
So
he's
King
just
Kong dressed like Krillin.
Yeah.
kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on. Who are the other villainous gorillas instead of Grodd and
There's Grodd, Ultra Humanite,
And
Who's
the
a
Monster
Muncher.
Mala?
and
Muncher
yeah,
Mala.
Monster Mala.
Monster
Yeah.
Mala. And I think there's
Oh.
another one.
I don't know who that is.
Monster Mala's with the brain.
Oh,
Yeah,
Monster
they're-
Mala's cool.
They're in
He
love
wears
with
a
each other.
beret.
Isn't there like a gangster ape, like ape gangster, or like
There's a detective.
Detective
Detective.
Pimp.
but like there's like a Batman Brave and the Bold episode about like a gangster who also happens to be a giant ape.
Hell
It's with
yeah.
DC and giant apes.
Yo, I'm into that.
No, you are.
Yeah,
there
Ultra
was-
Humanite's like an albino one with a giant brain.
Mhm.
And then Monsieur Mala is the one.
God's Starscream. What is that? Salivar?
Salivar is a good guy though.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I read something recently that like is Marvel trying to bring back Joe Fixit?
Yes,
Okay, hell yeah. First of all, yes.
they're bringing back the. It's actually if you scroll, oh my god, it's gonna be too far away. Back we talked about it a couple weeks ago on comics, but yeah, they have a new the Gray Hulk, and it's
That's
really
pretty
goofy. Oh, they have Kong Gorilla. Is
Wait,
the other one.
saw a
Oh.
headline recently about a new Marvel character who's just like, person has the powers of Venom and Wolverine. I was like, will you stop it?
No.
It's different
Last
than
year it was
Wolverine.
the Hulk with Wolverine claws, and now it's somebody who has Venom and Wolverine powers. Stop it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's weird. The day when Marvel became Taco Bell, that was weird.
listen.
That was a weird time where they were like, "Let's put Doritos in a burrito, man."
There's something like really endearing about that though.
Well, back to Joe Fixit coming back, or at least the Gray Hulk. Like, is it still the I don't. Does anybody care if I ruin who the Hulk is if they don't know already? But is it Amadeus Cho is going to be the Gray Hulk
No,
now?
it's
okay.
not.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to find the article. Like we talked about it like weeks ago, and he looks all
And
different.
I couldn't even conceive what the fuck is happening in Marvel right now because I haven't picked up.
Well, it's like the Thor thing. John, you've been reading it.
Yeah,
it's like
the War of
weird-
Realms.
Yeah, War Realms is fucking rad, by the way.
Really?
Aaron's run on Thor is phenomenal. I'm on the second OHC of female Thor, and it's
The
so
last-
good.
Thor thing I read had someone called the God Butcher in it, and it was the fucking most metal shit.
That's
Yeah.
the beginning of the Aaron run.
Sounds like a fucking album.
Yeah, it's so fucking
Yeah.
good.
Or like
Yeah.
a '80s like weird experimental punk band or something
Yeah.
like that, like
I
electro punk.
Yeah, on the same vein as not reading any Marvel recently, I checked back on what's been going on in the Flash, and it was like, as hard as they lost me recently, they lost me even harder because I don't even care if this stuck or not. It was like the Flash can't run if he doesn't have any legs, and it's Captain Cold chainsawed his legs off. I was like, go
Oh,
fuck
God.
yourself.
Okay, wait a minute.
I'm into it.
He has a chainsaw.
It's
Okay.
I guess it's some story about how Trickster got the Sage Force and somehow brainwashed Commander Cold to chainsawing Barry's legs off. I'm like, first of all, the Sage Force is involved. This is bullshit, and it's a dream or a nightmare. I'm like, second of all, I don't read Flash
Is-
because it's like
Is this
Saw.
real life or is this a fantasy?
Yes, caught in a landslide.
Important question.
Yeah,
Important question. Was it made of ice?
that was my thing. Is it just a chainsaw or
It's just a
is it
chainsaw.
something else?
Damn it.
Then I'm against it. If it was, I wish it was,
It was a chainsaw made of ice.
Yes.
or it's just.
How would
If it was just in the
function?
name, they called it the Cold Chainsaw. They're like, why is it called the Cold Chainsaw? I don't know. It sounds cool. It's the cool
The
Cold
cold-
Chainsaw.
The
First
cold
of all,
saw.
God damn you!
Yeah.
I was getting to it.
Mhm.
Bonesaw's ready.
R.I.P.
Yes.
He saved us from the
to
rapture.
Yes, he
keep
did.
an old laser time joke. It sounds kind of like he's saying, "R is ready." Freshman.
Like,
R is ready.
no.
Anyway, what else has been making everybody else kind of? I don't know. What have you all been enjoying?
I know, dude. I don't enjoy much anymore.
Thanks, How's everybody?
I turned 24, and then like immediately I was like, "Fuck, everything sucks."
Oh, cry me
Yeah.
a fucking river, baby.
Oh, it hit you at 24. Oh, baby, I'll cry.
Oh.
Fuck you guys.
Time maybe you shouldn't try to hit a bunch of 30-year-olds with an existential crisis at 24.
God damn it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's nice to include Erik in that.
You're 30 at heart.
It's 30 at heart, but 50 in his liver.
Oh,
damn it.
Death, embrace me.
I mean, somebody else can chime in with something that other than Hunter, who apparently just like a joyless sack of flesh.
Wait. No.
I am only tall, and that's it.
That's not true. That is not true. I've been fuck. What have I been doing?
What?
Must
what have
be
I been doing?
memorable.
What do I do in my life?
I don't know. I don't know what I do anymore.
I mean,
Joy, how make?
You've got some bigger questions to ask if you don't know what you do with your life.
I don't, dude. I'm reading.
Every day is just a cloud of cocaine.
I'm reading. I'm reading the Green Arrow, Green Lantern, not Daniel Adams, and Danny O'Neill
Danny
and
O'Neill, yeah.
Neil Adams. That's
Oh,
right.
it's so good.
Why did you just say Danny Rand so bad?
Danny Rand. Fuck. That shit's good. I like that.
Hard traveling heroes.
Yeah,
I have the omnibus.
Nice.
it's good so far.
I need to pick something. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me try again. I need to pick something up to read again, because I feel the itch. But all the things I was loving to read, I was like, this isn't anymore.
Yeah, I would say there's a bunch of newer books I've been picking up. Like Naomi is really good, which is one of the Wonder comics.
Yeah, like basically, like all of Wonder Comics has been really fun.
What is Wonder exactly? Is that the one that's a whole bunch of
It's like the teen kind of. So it's Naomi who's new.
Oh, okay. I
The
know what you're
Wonder
talking about.
Twins, Young
Yep.
Justice, and
Wait.
H.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, like DC, for like I don't know like how long. Like I feel like it's been like 10 years at this point. Like I feel like it's always kind of like had a problem like making like teen centric books. Like, even like Jeff Johns' Teen Titans run, which I really liked when I was like reading comics, like kind of also skews like a little bit older, and
Yeah.
like they never like fully I feel like capitalized on the Teen Titans like cartoon to get like those kind of fans like into comics. And then they did like the New 52, and the New 52 Teen Titans sucks. And even before the New 52 Teen Titans also is like really fucking terrible. And so it's just like now it's like Bendis is at DC. He launches this new line with Dave Walker and Sam Humphries and a couple other people, Mark Russell, and it's like, oh, like these are the books I've been like wanting for a while now. It's a shame it took you guys this long to fucking do it.
I want to say somebody put a page up from like it was like last year. It might have even been you. It might be somebody else. Of how like was writing Titans at the time.
Yes. Oh, that's the Teen Titans
wrote,
book
like,
with
some-
Damien and Wally, the Black Wally West.
Dismal dialogue for a while.
Yes, it's
It was
really
like,
terrible.
Don't
is
know
it the
how to write
hashtag-
teens, shouldn't write for teens.
Is it the hashtag whatever?
I think it was, and it
Yeah.
was like
Yeah.
And that's the Titans book that didn't get canceled.
Okay, were they flossing in that book? Were they like, what were they doing? Like
No.
flossing?
I mean, like-
Fighting Brother Blood.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's flossing in the Shazam movie, and that movie is still pretty fucking awesome.
I mean, the movie's really good. It's just like, I'm wondering how much.
That's why I'm
How-
okay with it, because how old is Billy Batson in that movie?
14.
Yeah, he's my age.
Kids are fucking stupid, so I'm totally okay with it being in there because that's something they would think is funniest thing.
That
like, look, now I'm in a great big giant body, and I can still fly.
movie, I really enjoy that movie a lot.
I did too. I thought it was great.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I got to get around to it soon.
Yeah.
The foster parents. I did want to. We never like covered the movie, but like the foster parents in that movie are the most instantly likable people I've ever seen in a DC movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're awesome.
We did cover the movie
in the lost episode
for like in an episode that is lost to time and no longer canon. But yeah, the foster parents in that movie.
So
Foster parents in that movie are great. Yeah.
Yeah, and that episode was my awesome phrase of Action Asian.
Yeah, I'm really mad that the 45 minutes of just really deconstructing why Hellboy was a fucking disaster just got lost in ether.
It's like, oh, we can just release that Arlen's audio. It's like, no, because Arlen's audio is 2/3 of the episode.
Yeah, it's him shitting.
Well, it wasn't that.
Height upon Hellboy.
So it's not that everybody's there, but it sounds like we're listening through a fucking service vent, like fucking like we're listening from another room.
The computer was listening to itself record itself.
Prison cells.
So it's like
exactly like that.
We're talking to a ghost that lives in a vent that saw Hellboy. Okay.
Yeah, podcast ghost. That's his name.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that's who. Yeah, so that's. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. Enjoyed losing that whole episode where just. And here's the thing: like, if you were to ask me my feelings on Hellboy now, I couldn't because I laid it all out on that episode. So my ability to comment, yes, like it's all gone now. Any thoughts I had about that movie?
You exercise the demon.
My coworker came in and walked right to me and said, "Have you seen Hellboy yet?" I said, "No." And before I finished sentence, she goes, "Good, it's fucking terrible," and just walks away from me.
I remember like watching a trailer for it on YouTube, like before I was watching like I don't know what video, and like the whole entire hook of the ad for Hellboy was just like, "It's fucking rated R. It's fucking full of blood and guts," and I'm like, "This makes me not want to watch Hellboy." And anyway.
Actually, they mentioned that when they announced it, they're like, "Oh, it'll be R." I'm like, "Okay, cool. I want to see what you do with that." It's kind of the same reason, like, I wanted it for Venom. And actually, if I could like go this stupid R approach and slap it into Venom, I would love Venom even more. I still like Venom, but
I was gonna say, like, I watched Venom a couple weeks ago, and I was like, I recognize this movie's bad, but I also like kind of really like this movie.
Dude, I had the exact same experience with it when I first watched it. I watched it, I'm like, this is objectively horrendous, but for some reason I can't take my eyes off this.
Is it like Fast and Furious?
No, because it's more bizarre than Fast and Furious. Like
it's
because
more like it's like I like Tom Hardy as Eddie, and I like him in the suit together. Just everything surrounding that is just like really bad.
It's criminally stupid. It's like at some point, like this, like the fucking symbiote's like, "We're here to take over the planet." 10 minutes later, he's like, "Nah, we're good. I'm gonna stay here. I like you." But
I'm a bit of a loser. He calls himself a loser.
He's like, "Yeah, where I'm from, I kind of too." I'm like, how do you know? How do you conceptualize this? You've been on Earth for 8 minutes.
And Eddie Brock makes out with like the Venom lady, but really he's making out with Venom. Like
he's like at some point his girlfriend's like, "That was your friend's idea," and they both have an awkward moment of silence and then just continue the conversation. I'm like, the strangest fucking thing. And then at some point the suit is like telling Eddie to like apologize to his girlfriend. I'm like, now it's counseling him.
Yeah, I mean, like the Venom suit's like a good fucking bro.
Yeah, it is. It becomes just like it becomes best buddy Venom like right away. But Riot's a stupid fucking villain.
He's there to be a barrier to the end of the movie. That's it.
He is an even dumber version of Ironmonger, except if Ironmonger just was like Venom the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember which one Riot was from like the books. Is it the blue one?
Oh no.
No. Depending on who's drawing Venom, he's either black or blue.
Well, no, Riot was like blue or green.
One of the symbiotes.
All the symbiote memories I have are tied directly to Separation Anxiety, the Sega Genesis game.
Yeah.
Riot is also like grayish.
Yeah.
I'm looking at him right now.
No, he's like the gray kind of aqua
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. I do think that a sequel to Venom will be better.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it can be worse. Honestly.
With fucking with Daddy Woody Harrelson Carnage.
Okay, the wig they slapped on him is so funny.
The wig
I
on
want
Woody
them to
Harrelson.
stick with it.
I actually didn't see him. Like I turned off the movie before we got to that point, and then about 2 hours later, I was like, "Oh, I forgot there was a post-credit scene."
He looks.
Have you never laid eyes on like him as Cletus?
Oh, it's
no.
Oh,
He looks like.
Fucking.
I'm trying to think of a way to describe this.
Hysterical looking. Hang on,
He looks like Bob Ross, but if Bob Ross did meth for like 10 years, like that's what he looks like.
He looks like the Riddler.
So it's so good.
That is the worst hairpiece ever.
He looks like Wendy's like adopted stepbrother.
Wendy and Woody.
Wendy, as in Wendy's, the restaurant. Yes,
I know. And he even goes like Eddie walks up to him and like before they don't have a real conversation. He's like with his fucking strange ass American accent. Like I don't know where he picked it up. He's like, "Hey, Cletus Cassidy," and then Woody Harrelson's like, "When I get out of here, it's gonna be carnage."
It's gonna be carnage.
It's gonna be my name.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can't
he looks like he looks like Julia Childs.
He does.
He looks like a 9-foot tall French woman.
Oh yeah, shut up. We're gonna win. God, that's fantastic.
When I get out, it's gonna be Venom 2.
I couldn't hope to do a Woody Harrelson impression as good as Joe's from a recent movie episode. That's just broke me in half. When we watched Bunraku, which you said you saw it, right?
Oh, it's Josh Hartnett?
Yes, that holy shit.
That's cool.
These days.
Dreadful.
Being in a Dame to Kill For.
Just
was like
what a
that was
great
like
career.
Josh Hartnett show up in the Sin City.
Yeah, he's in SimCity 2.
Is
that
it
was
really?
Yes.
That's like
Sin City 2, a film that exists.
A Dame to Kill For did not come out 7 years ago. I feel like that movie came out like last year.
No, it came out 7 years ago, dude.
Oh god.
The movie's very bizarre because like it's we can't get Clive Owen again, so we'll just use Joseph Gordon-Levitt twice.
I really, really love that first Sin City movie. Honestly.
Oh, it's amazing because it's Robert Rodriguez doing
so
Robert
good.
Rodriguez things.
So like Mickey
That
Rourke was,
first film is a film. I'll say
Unfortunately,
that.
the second movie is Frank Miller doing Frank Miller things.
Oh, fuck.
okay, no, the spirit is Frank Miller doing Frank Miller things, and like that movie. I think that movie should be shown in film schools. Like, and this is why you don't let people who never directed before direct films. Everyone watch with their eyeballs.
And I've said my story about that was my second date with my now wife.
Yeah, you told us that. That was
like if you two survived a second date with the spirit, you guys could probably survive anything.
We were 2 of 4 people in the theater, and the other 2 people left after they finished their businit in 15 minutes.
It was very similar to my House of the Dead experience. I saw House of the Dead in theaters, and it was me and 2 other people, and then at the end of it, it was me. That's it.
Yo, I saw
sometime in the middle.
I saw Oculus with like 4 people in the theater, and it was. I hate that movie, but it was the best theater experience I've ever had because we were just throwing shit at the screen and like being obnoxious.
I don't hate Oculus.
Interesting.
I hate Oculus. That movie sucks.
Oculus is
That's the
it's a great film.
Fuck that movie.
Here's the thing. No, I don't even think it's that good, but like, it's not that bad either.
never heard a reaction to Oculus that wasn't just either like lukewarm or like,
that movie was
like
so
oh,
bad.
fuck that movie. It's
I hate it.
That's the thing, Hunter. I don't until the ending. I don't agree though. That's the thing. Like the ending is really bad, but other than that, like it's fine.
Yeah,
It's a film.
I thought it was pretty effective up until the very ending. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the ending was a total fucking cop out. Like they didn't earn that at all. Are
you talking about the Kieran Gillen?
Yes.
Mirror movie.
The haunted mirror one. Yeah.
I never saw it, but I just remember seeing ads for it like all the time during Raw because it's WWE films.
Of course it is. Of course.
I can relate.
But I don't know. It's a Mike Flanagan movie, and he's fucking great. So I don't know.
Sure, but at any point in that movie, they could have just gotten rid of the mirror.
I don't understand how that movie's not 15 minutes.
They could have.
Well, it was a short.
It sucks.
That's the thing. Here's the thing, Lou. I didn't know that, but that makes a lot of sense because as a 15-minute short, it works. Yeah,
it literally is based on a short film called Oculus. Chapter
Whoa! 3. The guy who directed Oculus is directing Dr. Sleep.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude,
talk about
directed
like
a lot of
up
good
in
stuff.
The world.
Well, he directed God, I have to list his whole stuff now. He directed Hill House.
Yeah.
He directed fucking
Ouija.
Yeah, Ouija 2. Yes.
The Ouija Origin of Evil.
That movie's bad.
The good one.
That's the good one. That's the second one.
That is the better movie of that series.
Wait, there's 2 Ouija films?
Yep.
Yes, there's 2 Ouija films.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
You know how the
one is a period
out.
piece.
I guess we learn something new every day.
You know how Annabelle came out in the first movie? It came out and people were like, "Fuck you, no thanks." And the second movie came out, that too was generally the same, but then people were like, "Oh, it's actually not terrible."
Yeah, it's not terrible. And then Warner Brothers was like, "Hey, do you want to direct Shazam?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure."
Fuck it. He's like, "Yeah."
Which, by the way, I don't know if anyone knows, but Annabelle shows up in Shazam. By the way,
does she does as a she's like it's like a Easter egg type thing.
Yeah,
it's like the stair car in Civil War.
Okay,
it's like fucking. Go ahead.
Well, like I also didn't watch his other movie, Lights Out, and I guess the character who is the, like takes care of orphan kids, like the lady who like basically puts orphan kids into homes, is a character from Lights Out.
Weird.
So I was like, oh hey, that's like. It's like kind of funny that there's like this family friendly comedy superhero film. It's like got 2 horror references in it.
Lights Out was the one that was also based on like a 2-minute YouTube.
Yeah, and it actually Lights Out isn't half bad.
Yeah.
I just can't.
There was one called The Hatred, and that was based on I think another YouTube.
I kind of get Lights Out also confused with the movie about the blind guy.
That's Don't Breathe, my man.
And that's Don't Breathe.
I heard,
but like they came out the same year, around the same time, and I feel like they're like almost the same movie.
But you gotta breathe,
John. I did the same thing too.
Similar.
Yeah. Don't Breathe is a really effective thriller, and then it battering rams you in the chest with one of the most like horrific things I've ever had to watch someone almost endure.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't
involving a fucking turkey baster. I was like, no, you take this back.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
That's why I've avoided it. Yeah.
That movie it takes a lot of time to get there, and by the time it gets there, I'm like, fuck you, movie. Fuck you. Get away from me.
Because it's Jane Levy from Evil Dead, and like she has a very expressive face and like just fucking eyeballs. And the look on her face, I'm like, oh no, this is way too real. I'm had enough. Like
that dude's dog in that movie is like a Marvel vs. Capcom assist, where he just like that's all I thought about the whole time I was watching that movie.
It appear from the side of the screen all the time, and it's relentless too. That thing chases her like 2 miles.
Like every time, like the whole movie, I just imagine like the HUD over it. Like there's like a health bar.
You just gave me flashbacks to the remake of Hills Have Eyes. And when I watched it, we kept the kill count for the guy and the dog. And I think the dog had like 5 more kills.
I've only seen that in bits and pieces because
It's not good. The only thing that's weird is the dad is the guy that played the fire guy in the first 3 X-Men movies.
Okay.
And he's like weirdly old.
Just like the remake of Last House on the Left, I was like, we didn't need this. Like, no one needs this.
The guy who plays Pyro plays a dad in a movie.
Yeah, he's in those movies. He's like 35 in the X-Men movies.
In Hills Have Eyes?
What? He looks like a teenager in those movies.
I'm gonna look up. Because Hills Have Eyes comes out between 2 and 3 X-Men wise.
Looks like a fucking Hayden Christensen in those movies.
I guess we're gonna learn here real quick because we're gonna fucking watch those movies. So, yeah, fuck.
True. And I feel like the first X-Men movie is gonna be like being into a fucking time capsule.
The Matrix. It's gonna be like it's like all Matrixy stuff.
Yeah,
I know there's some really dodgy looking CGI in that movie too.
Well, even Hugh Jackman looking the way he looks in it is going to be real dodgy.
A baby in those movies.
And his hairstyle is just that's when they were desperately trying to get it to look like comic accurate Wolverine, or at least somewhat comic accurate, and it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. Like they finally settled on a good haircut. Like what, by maybe the 3rd movie? Maybe.
I think they sort of get it by 2 because it's less like it's very less obviously pushed up that way, and just looks like he has like a prominent pompadour that's shaped kind of like Wolverine's hair.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how Tyler Mane holds up in particular for some reason. I don't know why.
Okay,
he looks like a giant.
People.
He looks like
looks like fucking Ron Perlman's Beast from Beauty and the Beast.
He looks like the Wizard of Oz lion dude.
Yes, yes. Somebody steps on his tail.
Because that fucking timeline is like, because you watch that movie, I guess, in like in order of events in that supposed timeline. It's like you know each other, and you're not supposed. You grew a lot of hair. Why aren't you speaking?
You don't look like Liev Schreiber.
Like Liev Schreiber?
Why?
Yes,
Okay.
I guess he was supposed to pop up in Logan when they went to that kind of like that casino. I guess it was. Sabretooth was supposed to just like be there.
That'd be actually.
Oh, hello, brother. What are you doing here in Las Vegas?
He's just playing spots.
I would have been so into that. Like just them. Like, yeah, it's been a road.
Awkward.
Sabretooth has a pot belly and he's wearing a free mustache rides shirt.
That'd be amazing.
Jackpots from Twin Peaks.
He's
like,
got
hello!
He's got a visor on.
I did some math. The guy that plays Pyro is 23 in the first X-Men movie.
Wait.
God, that's like a Ralph Macchio Karate Kid situation. That's insane.
God, I feel like that movie.
Macchio?
What's that? Ralph Macchio, he was like in his 20s, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, well, it's like what's his name? When Tobey Maguire played Spider-Man, he was in the first one. He's like 28.
And
but
he's obvious.
But he looks like he's 38.
Yes.
Yeah, and Andrew Garfield was also 28, I think, when
he was like 5 years younger. They've each gotten like 5 years younger.
Right.
Each time.
Funny because like Garfield still looks like I'm like, you look like you graduated already, and then like that fucking scene where he hops on a skateboard and half pipes his feeling. I'm like, God, fuck this movie.
Yeah, Ralph Macchio was 23 when he was on the first Karate Kid, because he was born in 1961.
He looks the same still.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, a little bit of age has gone on his face, but yeah, dude is eternal. Like he's a Highlander.
Yeah, he is. Only one.
I haven't watched Cobra Kai, but I've heard people actually say good things about it. Even though the first teaser I saw for it, I was like,
I basically watched it when it was free on YouTube, and I thought it was like super good. And then it was like, oh, if you want to watch the rest of it, get YouTube Red. I'm like, you know what? No thanks. I'll wait until it's all free.
I'm good. Thanks.
I'm not paying for your Karate Kid.
But I thought it was pretty good for what I did watch.
Yeah, I
heard it was much better than it was anticipated to be. Also like the idea. Does it sort of pivot? Like Danny's character is kind of a. I wouldn't say a villain, or like a jerk, like an antagonist.
Yeah, he's the antagonist.
Basically, like the idea that like Danny like got like super successful and parlayed it into like a big local celebrity career. And I forget the guy that he beat, but basically he becomes like a kind of a fucking nobody. And so the idea is like he's like Johnny. So it's like he's restarting Cobra Kai, like begrudgingly to like kind of like help the local youth. And it's like pretty fun.
A movie also with Ralph Macchio.
William Zabka cares a lot about the Utes.
Yeah. I did hear that, like, basically, like, a big part of his character, though, is that he's, like, that dude that was really awesome in high school, so he just carries it around the town like a douche.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically. And, like, the reason he becomes, like, an antagonist is, like, really kind of a comedy of errors. It's like the local bullies happens to be the son of Johnny and picks on some kids that like Dan or bullies of the son of Danny, and Johnny like sees it and like basically beats the shit out of them for being like fucking bullies. And it's because Johnny or Danny thinks Johnny's being a dickhead again, like he just automatically assumes like he's in the wrong. So he's like trying to prove him, to be better than he once was. It's like nice.
How dare you assault these children who are assaulting more children?
He doesn't like beat the shit out of him, but he does some like karate and like basically teaches him a lesson.
I have a question regarding this topic. What did everybody think of the fucking the
what? We lost you there for a second.
What did everybody think of the remake?
Oh, the remake with Jackie Chan?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that movie's not bad.
I didn't mind it, honestly.
I just don't see the reason.
I saw it when I was like 14, I think. So I guess we did.
Oh god.
I mean, same. I think I don't know why it needed to be called The Karate Kid. Like, it didn't.
Yeah.
I don't think they should have done that. They could have come up with another title.
The kid who did karate.
Well, it takes place in China, and he's learning kung fu. So like,
which isn't even
karate
like a real.
It's all the goddamn same. Shut your
He's
mouth.
learning wushu, or I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, I think
he's doing Tai Chi or some bullshit.
He enters a wushu tournament, if I remember correctly. So yeah, like, and the reason that they get away with Karate Kid is because he like watches karate on TV, and he like copies some of the moves, and the Chinese bullies are like, "What are you gonna do, Karate Kid?" And that's how they say it too.
And that's his origin story.
Did they say Karate Kid trademark? Warner Brothers.
Karate Kid TM.
What are you gonna do, Karate Kid?
What are you gonna do, trademark. Karate Kid 2?
Suicide Squad us.
God damn it.
And Hunter, you say that, but there were like 3 other Karate Kids in the Karate Kid series,
and one of them starred Hilary Swank.
Yes. That was like Karate Kid 3,
and that's like kind of the thing, and that's kind of the thing when it comes to like remakes, where people are like, "Well, like this Jane Smith one sucks." I'm like, "Well, like I think it's like fun. It's not as bad as Karate Kid 2." And to like kind of like
wow,
that's
wow,
words.
And to basically to like and to basically like kind of like parlay that into like the Child's Play trailer that dropped this week, and people are like, "This sucks. This is the worst thing they've ever done to like the franchise."
There I disagree, because like, you think a remake to a long-running horror series is the worst thing that ever happened to it? Please go watch some of the sequels.
Bride of Chucky.
But okay, so here's
I think that first movie is the worst thing that ever happened to it.
Some of the later Chucky movies where they become comedies, those are worth something. Like they have some value to them.
Continue, John.
Okay, my favorite horror franchise is Child's Play. Like second is like Elm Street, but like I love Child's Play. I think it's really good. And I think that in the grand scheme of things, there are like only 2 bad Child's Play movies. There's Child's Play 3, which is just super boring and just like adds nothing new. And
Is
then
that the
there's
military school one?
yes,
Okay.
that
Yeah, that
movie
one's bad.
sucks. And then there's Seed to Chucky, which is like takes like kind of like the tongue in cheekness of a Bride, which is like not bad. Like I think it's like a kind of a fun blend of like horror and comedy. But then it just takes into full blown comedy.
Yeah.
So like when I saw like the new trailer for it, I'm like, oh, it has like elements I kind of like, and if you don't really want like kind of like what they want, what they're delivering with this like new interpretation of this franchise, it's like, well, like Doug Mancini's doing that Sci-Fi Channel like Child's Play series that actually has like all the mythos of the past films, so you have that too.
Cult of Chucky.
I was
Yeah.
gonna add, like, if you are a Child's Play fan right now, like, you kind of have your pick of the litter because there's a new movie coming out in the main series. There's a TV show coming out and a remake. Like, if you don't
Yeah.
like 2 of those things, you probably have an option.
You literally have your cake and you're eating it also.
Fair.
Like,
I don't get that option for Friday the 13th because one, the fucking stupid ass litigations are just keeping that series dead in the water right now. And like, I have the remake which I like, and then I have a bunch of sequels that I can.
With Child's Play, to go back to that real quick, it's not even that I'm like, oh, this looks terrible. Not because I don't really have much of a connection to the films. I mean, I've seen, I think, 3 of them. I'm just painfully disinterested by it. Like, I don't think it looks bad. I don't think it looks good. I'm just like,
and that's totally fair.
Yeah, it does not appeal to me in any way, shape, or form.
I think
it doesn't offend me because like I was a diehard Hellraiser fan, and no series has moved me the same way that Hellraiser has. Like, so Child's Play can do whatever the fuck it wants, and I won't be upset about it.
Is it Mark Hamill doing the voice?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. That has me interested. So yeah. that's a thing.
I would actually love if he did his Joker voice out of the Chucky doll. It would be
I
horrifying.
He kind of does.
I see him doing. Go ahead. Yeah.
Oh no, he kind of does. Like in that last trailer.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. My imagination is like 50s dad. I feel like that's his speed. So like the Atomic Family, because he did that in Justice League. What's the newest one that they did where it's kind of Tim?
Justice League Action.
No, yeah, I think about the Fatal 5.
So like the nuclear family, where they're like 50s people with nuclear abilities, like with radiation powers. Yeah, that's the radio. Yeah, do you not know what this is? Have you not heard of the Atomic Family? Yeah, they're like 50s people who are trapped in the 50s mentally.
They were actually they were the villains in Teen Titans, or the Titans show.
Yeah, they're cool.
Man, the Joker in that show sucks.
Does he really sucks? But they nailed Swamp Thing really well, and Mark Hamill did that voice as well. So yeah.
I will say, despite my interest in that movie, there's no villain currently going that I'm exhausted with. And I'm like, I'm like, one, you teased something interesting with that fucking 3 Joker reveal, and radio silence ever since. It keeps popping up in places I don't fucking even pop up in. Like, I've been playing Injustice 2 since release. I haven't touched the Joker because I'm like, why the fuck are you here? Like,
spoilers though. He might be showing up in MK11.
Fine, whatever. I can rip his face off with Cabal. Okay.
Yeah. No, I kind of like that they're putting him in there because that means they're like.
Wait, is that an actual rumor? Because that's not what I've heard.
No,
into a spider parasite like that.
It was
one character.
The DLC list got leaked and his name was on it.
I didn't even think it was that. People were data mining.
Can you post that link in the?
It's on Reset Era.
Yeah, it's as far as I know.
Heard?
People data mined the game with the DLC whatnot, and that's what they were able to pop up.
Yeah.
It makes sense based on like that each of the Injustice games they've had MK characters in it, and they obviously have some sort of like they have a good relationship with Warner Brothers.
Yeah,
But like
no
one
one
plays this Joker in Injustice, do they? Like, is he anyone's main?
I don't like using him. He's too for me. He's too limited. His moveset is all it's like he has weapon based either like down moves or
I hope that's not the actual leaked list.
3 of these characters are awesome. I don't understand how some of the other ones aren't just actual characters.
Fujin, I'm actually interested in coming back.
Ash would be awesome, and Terminator is awesome. Like Spawn is in a ton of fighting games already, so
not really. Spawn was in the Soul Calibur game, and that was it.
Soul Calibur 2. But like the one Mortal Kombat character I want is Rain, and they've teased him in Mortal Kombat 10, and they teased him in Mortal Kombat 11, and I'm like, well, maybe he's DLC, and it's like, fucking Fujin, and
like there's 2 characters that like the people talking about Melina kind of need to calm down because. I know, like, she just died, and yes, this is a time travel story, but, like, can you let that settle for a little bit and have some kind of effect?
Like, her death is kind of a big deal in, like, the Mortal Kombat
because she was trying to position herself as a power player in Outworld and fucking blew up in her face. It's kind of an important part of the story. But, like, Rain and Smoke are 2 of the ones I'm like, where are these dudes? And they just being referenced or, like, you know, shown in story and not playable.
Yeah, Rain, I was really disappointed that they didn't have him available to play.
Because in 10, he was like, I'm an Edenian prince, a demigod, and I'll be back later, bye, and then just never.
Yeah.
Anyway, actually, that game coming out has been, is the bright spot before Endgame. That's kind of been, like, looking forward.
God, yeah. It comes out this week, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
I don't know, what else is on everybody's radar as far as, like, upcoming releases, like, really big shit?
Borderlands 3, but I'm not talking about here.
I
don't really have anything.
I kind of want to get Mortal Kombat, but like at the same time, I'm like, I don't know how much like actual time I put into the game, and I honestly am like more excited for Samurai Showdown.
I'm curious about Samurai Showdown.
Like, is Samurai Showdown coming out?
Yes. Yeah, it's basically like a remake.
I'll show you the trailer afterwards. It looks really cool.
Can I please universe parlay this into a Bushido?
I don't know if Connor. I think that dream might be dead.
Yeah, I don't.
Shut up.
I don't think Square's ever going to touch that.
No, it hurts me to say that. Believe me, but I'm telling you.
Fine, there's a PlayStation in my closet with just that disc in it, and that's all that ever gets powered up in that console. I pull it out every few months and play Slash.
Connor, here's a little tip. You can super easy hack the PlayStation Classic.
Yep.
Like apparently it's painfully easy to do.
Apparently it is the easiest thing to do ever.
Yeah. Like you can find people that already have everything loaded up, and all you need to do is load it onto a zip drive and pop it in, and there you go.
I remember soft modding my PS2. The only thing really involved about that was like spring parts, but that was because I grew up with the idea of like, wow, modding your console is so fucking edgy and cool and impossible. And I get a PS2, I get old enough, it's like, take these 3 plastic pieces and stick them in these spots and don't ever worry about them ever again.
Oh, Connor, it's even easier than you need is a zip drive and basically you just need a USB and you plug it into the second controller port. And, and it reads off of that. I mean, I think it's a little bit more involved than that, but not much more. Like it's that easy. And then you can just load up whatever games you want onto your micro USB.
What kind of movie like superhero related shit?
Fuck I know, my man.
There's like, I don't know, my life is over after Endgame. Like,
yeah, what am I gonna do?
Watch Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's
that real TV
that
show
might not happen. Yeah, that
Hey,
show that's
it's-
totally definitely coming out. Motherfuckers. They're gonna fucking cancel it days before it fucking airs. Those fuckers.
I am kind of excited for Brightburn to come out because I'm really interested in that.
That has been gaining my interest for a bit.
Yeah.
Also, Detective Pikachu. Come on, what's
Ooh,
up?
Yeah,
Eh.
Detective Pikachu is going to be really good.
Okay, here's my my take on Detective Pikachu. I am genuinely annoyed by how good that movie looks.
Yeah.
They say like Ryan Reynolds is great.
I'm
whenever-
like, there's no way this fucking endearing, and I'm so mad that this is the movie that's gonna buck the video game movie trend.
Yo,
Yeah,
like
what
not
it
just
is
that.
anytime Ryan Reynolds is great when you don't have to look at his face.
Yes,
It's
this
weird.
is
It's
true.
like it's not like it's a video game movie, but they got away from the idea of like, let's just adapt a video game. It's like, no, let's just adapt the universe and just tell our own fucking story.
well, actually,
Okay,
it is.
and-
Yeah.
There's a
based on a
Detective
game.
Pikachu game.
It is based on a
Yeah,
game.
there is.
Is?
Yeah.
Yes.
But
This is like going to like some like super obscure like sub spin-off of a game and adapting that first.
I will say
Like
though,
that's
it does seem focused on other Pokemon more so than the game was. So I'm definitely interested in that.
Yeah.
I actually kind of like really like that they have like every generation of Pokemon is shown within the trailers.
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like it's not just like Gen 1, Gen 2, you know.
Mm,
Yeah, it's like they got like a lot of stuff from like all the gens. And as someone who
Right.
still plays Pokemon, I really appreciate that.
And I heard
Yeah.
I heard like in comparison to something else coming out, all those Pokemon I saw in the trailer look fucking fantastic, and I can't believe they all are like rendered that believably. And they took these cartoony looking things that have existed in 2 dimensions for God knows how long, and if they weren't, they were still kind of cartoony 3D models.
I
You
want
turn them into
Yeah.
these very lifelike things, like Mr. Mime is terrifying.
No.
But like all the
Yeah.
hair on Pikachu, and then I hear like the Hedgehog trailer showed it like some fucking convention or something like that recently, and someone described it as the thing giving a blowjob in The Shining.
Oh,
I am like legit, like non-ironically, like super excited for Sonic. I'm like going to be there day one.
no, dude.
I regardless of like
Yeah.
how bad those trailers look or how good those trailers look, I'm gonna be there because I'm just like I'm gonna be
I
there
think-
for the experience.
Yeah.
Morbid curiosity.
I
is,
might
like,
be the
leaning
same
towards,
way.
like,
I
yeah,
Yeah.
I think my curiosity may lead me there earlier than later because like I just I don't know something about this. I didn't see any footage. I'm like, this is gonna be a fucking show.
I don't know. Part of me thinks that it's like a giant con that's actually part of like to catch Predator.
Right. God damn it. Yes. You know, it's the
Like I am like legit like more excited to see the Sonic the Hedgehog movie than I am for the Joker movie. And I'm probably and there's like a good chance I probably won't see the Joker movie in theaters.
I mean,
That's
same.
a feeling I understand though because this is Joker movie. Like,
It's
I feel
weird.
like it's really risky because
Mm,
I feel like
Well,
this is
it's-
more like Gotham. Everyone was like, "Thanks for the longest Batman movie ever." That won't show
No one
Batman
wanted-
until the last fucking episode.
Yeah.
Like with fucking Pennyworth coming out on Epic soon or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I
I
forgot
feel
that
like
was a thing.
this
forgot
stands
about that,
to,
yeah.
like it's I don't know how do I describe this. The idea of consistently doing these Batman properties without Batman, they keep trying to like envelope farther and farther, and this is the one I hope works, but I can totally.
I also kind of feel like they pick like the worst characters to center these films around or these properties around. Like,
Yeah.
okay, Gotham. It's like if you just did Gotham Central, you've been great.
And I
Like,
think you and I
Gotham
think you and
War.
I think every one of us has had this conversation at some point. How
Right.
that's
But
what we wanted, and like we're like, oh, looks like what it might be. And then episode 1, blam blam, the Waynes get shot. I'm like, fuck you. Like this is a
Yeah, this
Batman
should be the
show.
series finale.
Hey, like I don't know if you know that guy, who like works with James Gordon, who tells riddles, is actually the Riddler.
Yo, he loves riddles. He loves them.
He likes riddles, but like on the download,
Some kind of
that guy
riddle
actually becomes the
guy.
Riddler.
That was a joke my friend Tim said. He's like, this show is just reference the TV show. It's like, gee, Enigma, you really like riddles. You're like some kind of dramatic close-up riddle guy.
I think the greatest irony of all that is like you told a story on the podcast a while ago about like how in Gotham they were like, my venom will be the bane of this city, and then like it took like 5 seasons, but they're finally doing Bane.
It's Gordon's friend who gets shot, and then fucking I think not Talia, but Lisa comes up and saves him and gives him a Darth Vader respirator.
Wait,
Bane.
so they used who? They used Nissa in that show?
Yes.
So there is
Apparently,
2 live-action Nissas in this world.
From what I read, they basically aped the Dark Knight Rises, like the skeleton of the relationship between Talia and Bane, and just applied it to Gotham characters.
I've defended that in
appears-
that movie, but you don't need to do that again and again and again.
Also, it
like,
appears that what's her face, who was the wife in the first season, who has now had like 17 identities since that show has started.
Oh,
like,
Barbara.
Gordon, yeah,
God,
Barbara, yeah.
Barbara.
Poor Barbara Gordon.
Yeah, she's
I heard
apparently,
what happened to her, and it's all insane. All of
Isn't
it.
she
Every
like
bit
the
of it.
head of the Legion?
Okay, she has died, come back. Like, I think she had her hand chopped off. It grew back. She became the demon's head, and then she became the head of the Gotham Sirens.
Barbara Gordon became the demon's head?
Dude, Gotham
What?
is fucking insane.
I don't believe you.
When
That's
people make
not
fun of
kidding.
Arrow in the
Dude.
CW, and I
not
just was
kidding.
like, what?
The
Yeah.
fucking that they show up and say, Raz is dead, you're his successor. What? She's been electrocuted and come back the next episode. Riddler was seemingly frozen by Mr. Freeze's freeze gun, only to come back the next episode with temporary stupidity from freeze effects.
She got really good.
There are 2 secret twin angles in that show.
Well, they're on like their 5th Riddler or their 5th Joker, aren't they?
Basically, their 4th iteration of this like proto Joker.
Mm.
Wasn't Michael Chiklis on this show with like grease paint and a hook
But I was
hand?
gonna say Barbara was shown. I'm pretty sure Barbara was shown in the teaser for the final episode in full and red Harley regalia.
Oh fuck!
Ugh.
I'm glad I don't watch that show. Like, okay, so like,
I kind of want to go through it when it's over because I've been watching this on YouTube. I found her name's Quinn Curio. She did 2 videos.
I watched a couple of videos that you shared.
2 videos about it's called The Dumbest Things Gotham Has Ever Done, and she says like I love Gotham. She's like, but this show is very stupid, and I can understand why people don't get through it. And she says, I think it's just the one thing that she loses the most people on is the fucking balloon episode.
That's the first, isn't it like the first or second episode?
Yeah, she says, no one I know watches Gotham because no one can physically make it through Balloon Man.
Didn't they turn like the Penguin's like sub boss guy into Solomon Grundy?
He did, and he looked like a homeless man who had been painted gray.
Oh man. Remember when they did Solomon Grundy on Arrow for a half episode?
Yeah, and it was fucking great. It was fucking awesome.
And like I
He
know,
fucking
like,
punched a
CW,
truck.
And that like the CW, yes, they have a lot of shit they can be made fun of for, but like Gotham takes the cake as far as like they did what?
They did everything.
Mhm.
Yeah, this 5th season
At
is No
least-
Man's Land.
Yeah, you
Like,
remember
at least when
like
CW does something goofy, there's thought behind it. Like there's a intent there of like, yeah, it's not.
Gotham has done the Court of Owls. They have done No Man's Land. They have attempted.
Okay.
They have attempted to reference. They have referenced and adapted Bane. Harvey Dent is already Two-Face. Mr. Freeze is already around. The Riddler and Penguin are already around. There have been 3 Jokers. There was a Man Bat. There was.
Aren't there like 2 Poison Ivies?
No, I think it's one character, but they changed
she
actors.
rapidly aged, right? Is that not?
Yes.
And the explanation for that is she was a child, and by the way, her name is now Ivy Pepper, not Pamela Isley.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Why?
Yeah. because on the nose.
Writers are not smart.
So she fell into I'm not kidding.
Magic goop.
She fell into a magical sewer and came out as an adult. And
All
the
right.
director, here's the
as you
show
do.
where like we wanted to focus on Ivy's power of seduction, and we didn't feel comfortable using a child. And in that video with Quinn Curio, she's like, all I hear is I want status quo Ivy.
So it's an adult woman with a child's mind.
Yeah, and like
Seducing
that's
men.
one of her biggest criticisms because she's like, how did this girl learn how to walk in heels in a few days, how to put on makeup, how to dress appropriately, how to act like a full-grown woman in less than 24 hours?
Why does this show exist?
Well, season 1, they also had Catwoman girl drinking milk out of a bowl.
Yeah, and then she got cat powers.
Yeah, don't you know that she's like a cat burglar, and of course she's like super catty. She's cat. She like loves cats.
It seems like the writing like approach to the show was just like was the equivalent of taking a hammer and slamming it over someone's head.
Well, the thing is, they lucked out with getting like
So,
two good actors in it that people really liked. The guy that played Alfred and the guy that plays Penguin, and they just were like, "Oh, like what do we do now? Everybody hates everything."
And like that show will kill a character off and then immediately undo it via nightmare, hallucination, some kind of like weird nonsensical twist. And at some point in that show, Hugo Strange cures crime, then everyone forgets that he did this.
Wait,
Never mentioned again.
who cures crime?
Strange
Hugo
shows up.
Strange.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say like that's one of the best castings I've ever saw. Was like BB Wong.
He does a treatment on Penguin that turns him into a melting pile of niceness, and like people they tar and feather him. He's like okay, and walks away. Like Riddler rejects him. He's fine. Like all this stuff happens, and it takes like an insurmountable amount of like mental torture for him to finally snap and go back to his old ways. But like again, it's Hugo Strange cured violent tendencies in a city full of violent criminals. And it's just never referenced again.
Yeah,
That's Gotham.
yeah, a show that I really like. Because we started from what we like.
And we ended up on Gotham.
Somehow.
I saw the teaser.
Somehow.
For
We
final
love to hate
episode.
it.
It is true.
Yeah,
it does bring me joy. There's one thing I want to just bring up about DC real quick. Like, what is this new fascination with? Like, we got Batman, but we're not gonna show him to you. Like, Titans has one. Never saw his face. Now we're gonna see his face.
Well,
he's blonde Jorah Mormont.
Well, yeah.
Well, like the Titans thing because I think am I the only one here that watched it?
I've seen it in a
I
vacuum,
didn't
and I
it's
understand the context. I still hated it.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
I think it works in the story of the whole thing to like, but like it makes sense why you don't see his face in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it looks like they're doing it with Gotham as well, and they're aging up. They're getting an older actor to go in and play like the new Batman. But the final episode teaser has this fucking Jerome Valeska person, and it's doing like ridiculous Jokerisms, and then he gets hit with a batarang in the hand. I'm like, this just missed the point entirely. Also, this Joker looks like Dick Cheney fell into a vat of toxic waste.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love that movie Vice. This looks like a great sequel.
I think Alan on the comic show said that he looks like Emperor Palpatine.
He does. Yeah, that's
yeah.
true. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're just gonna go right over that because nope, you're not segueing into something else with that.
What's a Star Wars? I've never heard of it.
Yeah, don't know
you guys
what
want to
that
rap?
is.
I could go for a rap.
Yeah,
I'd
I
be okay
guess.
with us rapping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think Discord's starting to tell us like, get the fuck off.
yeah. Discord is like an angry horse.
It's starting to get stormy over here, so at some point I will probably just be booted off the internet for several hours because Las Vegas is terrible for weather like.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I've been Connor McGraw. There's a bunch of movie dumpster stuff out right now. Critters 2 just came out. That's our Easter episode. That movie is a blast. I laughed my ass off throughout most of it. Bunraku just came out. We just recorded an episode for Howard the Duck. which experience. That was Joe's pick. That was our Endgame movie, timed release. I didn't like it, and I didn't like it as soon as I was like, "Oh, duck boobies! This is what I'm doing."
Yeah, I was about to ask, how do you feel about duck nipples?
I actually think
I'm confused because they're not mammals, so I'm not sure.
That wasn't Erik, that was me.
But yeah, those are all out. And I think we're doing Bushwhacked coming up soon.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, we're doing Bushwhacked, and after that, I think we're gonna do a movie I found called Franklin, with Ryan Phillippe, Eva Green, and there's more people in it, but it's kind of a weird.
Yeah, that Ryan Phillippe is a name I haven't heard in a decade.
It's you'd have to see a trailer to understand what's going on, but it's interesting. But yeah, that's out. All that stuff is out. Please go listen. All that jazz and stuff. That's my low energy plugs.
Yeah. Lost Hour Podcast comes out just about every single week. We did a summer preview episode, so talking about all the movies coming out this upcoming summer, starting from Endgame, and I think we end around It Chapter 2, so go give that a listen if you're intrigued at all. We should have another Monster Mash coming out soon. I
watched the stuff, and that movie grossed me out.
Yeah, the stuff is really good.
Chocolates from Charlie, man.
Yeah, that episode did come out. Hopefully, Hunter has another guest for the next one.
Yeah,
right,
I'll figure it out.
Right, Hunter.
Yeah, sure. Fuck. Okay, well, I guess I'm going. So go check out Lost Arrow Games. We got some cool stuff going on over there. I believe we should have an episode out this week. Last week we kind of ran into some issues. Go check that out. Don't follow me anywhere on social media. Like I said, if you do, I'll find you. Other than that, fuck. That's it.
That threat has no teeth. I'll find you.
I'll find you.
I may not be very committal about it, but I will.
I'll find you. Don't worry.
I'm Erik Fedorchek. You can find me at Erik_Fedor on Instagram. Pictures of dogs and cats and food and comics. Also floating around the Phantom Zone, doing that thing, doing the other things, being old, bodies falling apart, time waits for no man. Also, I was reading recently about how Daffy Duck.
Nope.
No.
That's it. No, Lou, do your plugs.
All right,
so
so
you're not going last.
every Tuesday, you can check out me and Alan do Smallville Chronicles. We are almost done with season 3, so we have to figure out what our in-between season special is going to be. And every Thursday, John is usually on with us, where we do And Now Comics, where we talk about comics and all the news and such. And then part of Lost Horror, we also have Legion of Tunes, which John is on. And our next thing is Eltingville.
The Eltingville Club.
Yes.
Yeah, based on the Evan Dorkin comic.
Oh, hey, this man knows what's up.
Dude, Milk and
Please
Cheese,
word.
come on.
Yeah.
I have the Dork hardcover up in my library.
All right. John?
You can find me at John_FN_ Seiler, Seiler. I'm also at the same handle on Instagram. I think it's just John F. and Seiler there. But you can see me talk about upcoming comics that we are releasing through my work, which is fakku.net. That's fakku.net.
Okay.
We're the largest distributor or the largest publisher of hentai in the United States.
Nice.
Oh, I believe hentai is a very kind way to put some of the things I've seen that is coming out from your publisher.
I mean, like, I like to think that, like, a lot of the stuff we release is, like, pretty fun.
Did the book that you titled come out yet?
Fun.
We announced the book that I did come up with a name with, yes. We were releasing it online, and then about 2 months later, it comes out as a physical book. But so yeah, you can find me on Legion of Tunes. You can find me on the Comics Podcast. You could follow me on Twitter and see me talk about either comics bullshit or like the stuff that I'm talking about for work or just like random stuff. I think it's pretty fun. But yeah, that's me.
All right. Bye. Here's the dead. Bye.
And as the juices.
Nope. Craig, stop, Craig. Craig, do the thing. You know what, Craig?
Craig, please stop.
Wait, that like white-haired lady who had sex with that guy from Aquaman died?
No.